Hello, welcome back to I Create For You. My name is Lori, and today is Whatever Wednesday, where I just pick something and go with it. It's whatever. I don't know how many of you are familiar with ATC cards. And what they are like trading cards, but artists do them. So ATC stands for Artist Trading Card. So I have some that I've made, and I'm going to make some just to show you how artists go about making them. They can either be they can be anything, but they need to be 2.5 by 3.5. That's what your card needs to be, this big. Now, sometimes you can get playing cards that are this size, and you can use that as your base. We also put little info on the back and about the card. So I'm in a few of these groups, and I've done quite a few swaps already. And every now and then I get the urge to go through my things and make a few so I can trade some. I got quite a few, and most of mine are horror related, Bigfoot cryptid related, or cat and wolf related. So I can show you some, and I took a pile of them out because I have them on the site that I'm going to be trading. So I'm going to try to put this in here. It's very hard. I did a lot of these. These are like Valentine's ones where I take a printout, put it on there, and collage stuff on with it. Here's some cryptid ones. Some cat ones, some Bigfoot. I don't really have a lot of room with this table here. These are ones I did for Christmas with kitty cats and made googly eyes on them, real little googly eyes. And I've also done scratch art ones, and you can collage lots of different things. There's even one where you can follow along, and there's a different one for every day. So every day you have one, and some of these were the prompts that were given for those. And that's why I have those in here. Here's Alice in Wonderland. This little hole I made at the top here is to put a charm in. And these are, I made for a Winter Wonderland. Winter woodland, I should say. They were woodland creatures in the wintertime. And I made a snow globe. These are national parks. This was one with skeletons, and I just made it look like an x-ray. You can get really creative with this one. Here's some more woodland ones. Bigfoot. And that's all I have in here. This can be used in the junk journaling world also. This is some that I make. I like making ones that are different. Sometimes they're interactive. Now these are going to be going to France. I'm trading with someone in France. And what this is a cutout. I have some printed out. I'll show you right here. I have a printout. So I picked one of the bottles, and I drew the hand, and then I made it interactive. I'm going to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. I made it interactive where you pull this up, and inside is the scary face. And then you put it back down. So it's not just a bottle. You just pull it up, and that's that. This was just, I made them pick out what they wanted. They wanted that one. Actually, that's a dryer sheet that I colored black. Here's another interactive one. that I did. This one's rather thick. Now this is called a belly band. And you pull that off. And I did origami. And it's a jack-in-the-box. So you can get pretty creative with these. That was my... I just made this one up. So it can be really fun to sit and think of things. And believe me, my mind's constantly going. So when I do think of stuff, I have to do it before it escapes me. Or I forget about it, or I don't have the urge to do it anymore. I'm trying to get this one. I have to work on this to get it back in the sleeve. These are trading card things that we use. Okay, so I have also done ones that were pretty cool, and I will go get them because I didn't bring them over here. I'll be right back in a second, and here I'm back already. See, I didn't even have to pause the video. I did this one. I made, it is a coffin, and you open it up, and inside is a scary guy. So that's my interactive one for that. And I came up with that design. This one is another form of that bottle that I did. I did a different type. It's called Batty Brew. I made the bottle, and you open it up, and there's a wicked lady inside. The witch who made the brew. And I did this one. I really like this one. This is funny. It says, see you. You pull on this, and it's an eyeball underneath. Uh-oh, it got stuck. Let me get it unstuck. That's what happens. I get too excited, and I want to put it all together, and then what happens is the glue sticks it. Let me get my handy dandy little poker tool here, which is a nail file, and let it release. Made a little window there, you can see, and see if that helps. See, and you pull it up, and look, the eyeball looks at you. So yeah, that's one of mine. Yep, and I like doing these little interactive ones that I come up with. It's fun, a lot of fun trying to think up different things, odd things that no one else has done. And people like that. There are collage only, which collage means you put a whole pile of stuff on here. There are also hand-drawn, hand-painted only ones, and there are those. This one's not going abroad. This one's staying in the States. Okay, so I'm going to do one or two or however many I can. I'm going to bring you down to where I'm at and hopefully keep you in frame. Now, these ones I just came up with today. These are interactive ones, and I had a whole pile. I'm just going to quick flash them over to you. A whole pile of these printouts, and I just went cut crazy, and of course they're all Halloween related. Now, I think these are kind of fun. This one says, admit one to the dark realm, and these are all windows. Now, these windows are actually, I think I might have one here to show you, from an envelope. From an envelope you get in the mail. So, I cut one out so I can do one for the one that I'm going to show you. But these are all, that's what are all on these. Here is a coffin, Dracula, Count Dracula, 1897. And you open up the coffin, and there he is. And then you put him back in the coffin, because you don't want him out, you know? You don't like the light, so we'll put him back in. but they're pretty fun to do and come up with. So that was one I just did. This one I just finished. Not all monsters are born, some are made. So if you're a fan of horror, you know that Frankenstein's monster, who is not named Frankenstein, the doctor who made him is Frankenstein. So it is the monster, and his bride is who they say is bride of Frankenstein isn't. So it says not all monsters are born, some are made. And you open this up and there's the monster. So that's that one. This one is not every beauty is innocent. So you have her, and you know, you think, oh, she's really pretty. And then you pull this out, and my gosh darn glue is too dang good for me today. Okay, it's stuck on this corner. Let me get this here real quick. I gotta get my handy dandy tool. Or I'm gonna rip. Here we go. And you lift it up, and there is the witch underneath, which who she is really. She's the witch. Okay. And then I have this one, Fear the Full Moon. This is the full moon. And you pull it up, and what does this guy become at the full moon? A werewolf. So those are my little creations that I made today. I was trying to find something. I love interactive. So it's not just a plain old, yeah, what was I going to say? A plain old ATC card. I do draw some, pretty much. I've had some where, one that I made that was a wolf head. And it was like geometric shaped. And I actually cut pieces from, like, it's a very thin, it's not really duct tape, it's a duct tape wannabe, but it was blue and glittery, and I cut the shapes of whatever I had the wolf head in that I drew, and then I cut those pieces to go in there, so it was like a mosaic one. And here I just put this kind of paper on the back. You can put any paper on it to decorate it. Oh, I almost lost my glue there. So now this one, how I'm going to do it is I'm going to put this mummy down first, and then this guy's going to cover him. And I'm going to put this down over top and cover the sides and bottom. And the little sign will say, in human form, but never human. So, and this is going to be the little pull tab for the zombie head. So we're going to go ahead and do all this. One of the things I do is the thing that gets pulled up, I always double it. Now this isn't it's card stuff, but it's very thin. So what I'm doing is just gluing it onto that. Whoops. Just flew onto there. And pressing it down. And then I cut around it. Good lordy Lou. Here we go. Boy, my poor scissors. They go through heck. Good thing I have several to use. But we're going to cut around here. This is called fussy cutting, because you're being fussy about how that little creature is going to look, or whatever you have. So they call these fussy cuts, because you're being fussy and not just cutting a square, cutting a circle. You're going around the object. Now that's going to make it a little more sturdy. So that's going to be our guy that we pull up and down, so you have to make him a little sturdier. And I'm going to glue this also, so this should be sturdy also. So I'm going to, I would have printed it on thicker cardboard, but at the time, I mean, cardstock, but at the time I didn't even realize I was going to just do this. So uh, I didn't think about it. I just did it, just printed it out. Okay, we're gonna just cut this one out. The little polar, I don't even know what tab. There we go. I couldn't think of the word. This is like a little tab from the top of that guy's head, so you can pull him in and out. And get rid of that. Now this guy is a zombie, so we're gonna stick it right like that, so it's easier to pull. So I'm gonna put a little glue here, and then we're gonna position him this way. Give it a good press. And we're going to put that one aside and let him sit up there. And we're going to add this guy to the page. And we're just going to put him right in the middle, like that. And the reason I have this busy, I'm going to tell you my secret. The reason I chose a busy background. Not to freak you out or anything. But once I have this on and this comes in and out, he doesn't seem to cover him too much up at the top, but you can't tell because there's so much going on in the background. So that's why I did it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this. So I hold it here. This is the only part that doesn't get glued. So I go like this and I make it like a pocket, because that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be a pocket. Then I'm going to lay it down. Oops, I forgot. I always cut a notch out of the top so that it's easier to do that little pull tab thing there that we have. It's easier to grab a hold of that. I got glue on the inside now. It dries clear, it's okay. And you want to get the glue as far to the edge as possible so you have all that room to put him in and out. Now I would normally wait a little bit, but I've been a little bit impatient today, and I've been putting these in before they're totally glued down, and then I either pull up and I have to re-glue them. But he's going to go in there, and I'm going to let him in here right now for the simple fact that I want to make this outside frame up a little higher on the bottom, because I want to be able to I'm going to put it in, put it like this, straight across. That's about as far as he's going to go down. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this area on here, and I'm going to lay this down right across, and then I'm going to trim it. Okay. Now I'm going to do the sides. The same way. What I'm going to do is just put it on there. I want a little more design on there. So I'm just going to glue the part that's going to get covered. And just press it on there. Turn it over and cut it off. It's better like this. You don't have to measure. You don't have to worry about it. Then I'll go on this side and get some of that. Never thought about that with a window in your junk mail could be a little bit of art. Okay, this one's going to be tricky because I actually have to cut in there, but I'll get to it. It'll come off probably once I do this. Then I'll just cut that right there, push it down, and then we have our scary card. And then I think I'll put this on this side, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it down a bit. So it fits better. And you can still see that guy. Should I put it on this side so he's not? I think I will. I'll put it on this side instead. That way you can see his hand and everything. There's nothing happening over here. So let me see what that looks like with the other guy. Yep, that'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm going to pull him out. Okay. Now we're going to put the glue on here. Sorry about my horrendous nails. Yes, I will be working on them later today. Believe me, they're bugging the crap out of me. They're looking so hideous. Okay, so there's that. I can push it up a little bit. It was hanging over the edge. All right, now we're going to put this guy back in here. Just like so. Okay, yeah, it was easy. Okay, here we go. There he is. And you could put other stuff on here. I don't have other stuff to put on here at the moment, but I might decorate it with something else, like a skull head or something, or another word or something like that. But that's your interactive. There's the two monsters. Human form, because they're both a zombie and a mummy, but they're not human. So there you go. I think they fit the bill, right? Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to do something about this. It's getting hung up. You know what I'm going to do? This is what I'm going to do. And now it won't get hung up and it won't matter. That's what it was getting hung up on, those two ends there. So let's see how this works. This slides in a little bit better. Slides in and out a lot better now. Look at that. Awesome. There you go. There's that kind. Okay, let's get to the other one that I was thinking about. I'm going to show you how I create it, but I'm not going to actually draw anything. I think I might just put another creature on the inside. Now what I'm going to do is, I think this might be the easiest way for me to do. I didn't do this like this before, but I was thinking about it. This is for the thing that comes out of the inside. So I'm going to cut more off of that anyway, so because it has to fit inside the bottle, so it's going to be a lot skinnier. But this is very hard for me to do so far away from me when I'm trying to see what I'm doing, and it's really far away from my face. Okay, so I made another bottle, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off the bottom here a little bit, and I'm going to cut the sides just like this, because it has to fit inside the bottle. I'm a very messy crafter. So this is going to get glued onto here, just like this, and I'm going to cut off the top of the bottle right here, and I'm going to glue that onto here, like so. Alrighty. Now, when I put this down onto the paper, I'm just going to, you always put your thumb where you're not going to glue. It helps you remember what you should not put glue on. You're going to make the letter U to make a pocket. You're going to take that, place it right down in the middle, push it down in there, let it get glued on there. And then I would normally draw something in here, and I'm going to curve the bottom so they don't get hung up either. Oops. And then they go in here. This is where I go and I keep trimming until I can feel that it's going to be narrow enough to fit in the bottle. This one takes a little more patience than the other one did. I'll go this side. It's easier for me to do the curve. This one might work. If I have to keep shaving some off, then I do. It's no big deal. I'm going to find my, oh, here it is. I usually take this to go inside and get as close to the edge as possible, but not pick it up, so that there is room in there for this little guy. Now let's see how much easier that is to go in there, and then that hides what's in there, so you don't know that there's something in there. And then you pull it out and you have a little something in there, little something. Now I'm trying to figure out, I think there's something on this side that's not letting it go down, so let me fix that a little bit. Let me see if that helped. You got to just keep moving and moving it until, see, now all you have to do is pull that out, either draw on it or put another character on it, and you're good to go. I don't really have, see, you could put like, but he would probably be too big. He'd probably have to be cut down. But you could take these little guys that I have over here. I have a ton of them. All these little things over here. Little guys that I cut out before. That I had. It's a werewolf. You can just put anything you want in there. This was another good one that would have been good for this. It said monsters never die, and I could still put that one on there. And I think I will, just because I said so, right? And I'm gonna just put it on like this, right in here. To add to that. How quick and easy that is. And then I might put some other stuff up here. I don't know yet. But this guy, I have tons of stuff. You put a spider. You could put a spider on there and have it coming out. Little skull head. I could put that on there because it's skull and crossbones on the outside. In fact, if you would do the spider, you could do some of the web on here, and then do the little spider on top of the web and pull it out. There's all kinds of ideas that you can come up with these little things that I printed out. Look at Frankie. Well, he's not Frankie, but the Frankenstein's monster. Isn't he so cute? He fits very well on a card. Let me see what other stuff we got. Oh, yeah, there aren't too many other small things that you can put on there. There's, oh, like I have all these bottles now that I could use where it says frog's breath. I could put a creepy looking frog in there. Moonlight essence, put some moon theme in that one. Dragon's blood, put a dragon in the inside. It's all, and then put a skull here. Essence of death, put a skull in there. But these all can be put on a card, which they eventually will be. And then I will put those different things like I said in. I don't know what I would do for shadow mist. Shadow mist. I don't know what that is. Maybe like a ghost or something. And this one says nightshade, handle with care. I'd put something creepy in there. I'm not sure what. But yep, that's where either I draw it or I come up with some kind of creepiness. I saw this last night. I have a site that has that I go on, a group that I'm in. It's called Printables, and people come up with these different things to print and make. Well, last night I looked at this and I'm like, man, that would be cool on a card, but with bat wings. So last night I sat here and I came up with, let me show you. Oh, let me get these over here. I came up with this design, and it's this cut down and measured out, and you can put this on a card. Let me get a card over here. You can put it on this way instead, and you just trim it down to fit. You can have your cards facing this way or this way, and then right there you have the bat, and you open it up and you have enough. You could have something else in there like some vampire or more bats, or I don't even know if I have any more Dracula. I thought I did. We can look on here and see. They have all kinds of ideas. Look, here's Dracula. I can put him in there. And here he is again. You can put him in both sides here. You cut him out and fit him in there, and then put bats on the end. So that would be cool because we have bats here. This one would work, I believe. This one might work at an angle. And then this one over on this side. So this one on this side on this one on that side. But there's all kinds of ideas. But I really like these printouts because they were already little enough to fit on a ATC card. So that was awesomeness. And then I had a lady that I'm trading with. She decided she wanted to make me my very own artist cards to put on the back, which say Lori Bell, Pennsylvania, USA, whatever I want to call my card. Like, I will show you one card, and I probably would put on the back maybe full moon as the title, or fear the full moon like this says on here, or something about him changing. This could be witchy vibes. Just might be monster couple, and this one would be dark realm. I could do. So then I would put that there, and when I did it, but a lot of people number their cards. I've never numbered mine, but that's okay. She asked me if I had what my favorite colors were, and she also asked me if I had any favorite animals, and so she incorporated a wolf. And my favorite colors are black, turquoise, and hot pink. So I'm glad she picked this. This fits very well. So I will cut these out and I would glue them on the back of my cards with all my information. And the reason why that says USA is because there are a lot of people from Canada, from France, from all over Australia that do these. And so you can, then you'll know where this person was from. But I really like that. She didn't charge for this at all. She just made this up on her own. And they're awesome. I think they're really awesome. And that's my Whatever Wednesday project. I hope you were inspired, intrigued, and you could learn. You could look them up. A lot of people are doing a lot of different things. I like. I shouldn't say I like. I shouldn't. I don't care. I kind of like serial killer theme stuff, horror theme, and there are quite a few people who actually do. Like I had the one lady. She did a file folder, and she made her thing like a file, and a file folder, and you open it up and had information on a serial killer inside, and it would say something like censored case, or it would have like her information on. I don't even know where that one was. I had it out, and I don't remember where I put it, which is really sad because it's one of my favorite ATCs. I have mine all in an album that I get, so I can keep track of what I have, what different. And then I have like a group that I'm in that is, you make 6. Somebody hosts it. You make 6 of these in any theme that they come up with. Like they'll say, okay, I'm going to start a swap for wolves, and then they'll tell you if they want specifically hand-drawn, hand-painted ones, or any medium. If they say any medium, you can do collage, you can do crayon, you can do whatever you come up with in a wolf theme. And then you're trading. You send 6. One of them goes to the person that's hosting, and you'll get 5 different ones back from 5 different artists. So that's a pretty cool one too. That's a pretty cool idea. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I lost my, what did I do with my, I probably accidentally threw it away. Yes, I did. I accidentally threw away my little rest of my bottle. But thank you so much for stopping by today. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed it a little bit. And we'll see what we can come up with for next Whatever Wednesday. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay creative, stay creepy. Look at all the creepiness. And stay tuned for the next video. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't. And thank you if you already are subscribed. Bye-bye for now.